Okay, well, hello everyone. I am Toadmaster Zero, or some of you may know me as Chris, and I am going to be ranking all of the visual novels that I have played. And I'm already dreading how long this video will end up being. Um, I've never done anything like this before, so if I sound nervous or something, then sorry, I am. Anyways, a couple of disclaimers. I will talk about these games a bit, some more than others, but I will be generally vague and avoid spoilers. And I won't include pure visual novels, stuff like Ace Attorney, for example. I just, like I said, I am already worried about the length, and I want to not make this 500 years long. And the other thing I want to say was my memory sucks. I'll try my best to explain my rankings in short form, but many of these I won't be able to remember much about, so I might not be able to justify some as well as I'd like. At the very least, what I can always clearly recall is the overall feelings a game gave me. And, well, that'll have to do, I guess. So, let's just start. And I would like to start with a big one, and that is Fate Stay Night. Something that everybody knows. It's one of my early visual novels. I believe in 2014 I read it, and it may have ended up altering my brain chemistry, let's say. Now, I know it's not without its flaws, believe me. It's just one of those games where I simply don't care because the highs easily outweigh everything else. To me, the roots get progressively better, culminating with Heaven's Feel. Um, Man, anyone remember when the Light and Darkness track starts playing at the climax fight, and then it stops for a short scene, and then comes back, but this time in full swing as one of the hypest moments in anything you've ever seen unfolds? Yeah, me too. S. So, I guess it makes sense to continue with Fate Hollow Ataraxia, the fan disc for Stay Night. So, fan discs are typically hit or miss for me, but this was an excellent follow-up to Fate Stay Night, and I did not expect too much out of it, but I ended up loving it. It's a weird one. Bazette and Karen are fantastic additions to the series. It's fun stuff. It's a B. I'm gonna try not to ramble too long for all of these, by the way. Um, well, since we're doing Fate, let's just do Fate Extra. Uh, you know what Fate was always missing? Rock, paper, scissors.
I'm shooting myself.
Fate Hollow, no, Fate Hollow, Fate Extra CCC. Anyway, how about something completely different? Mojica. So I read this one recently. It's a Nitro Plus title, and it felt like a clock up title. I'm sure some of you know what I mean by that. It's not for the faint of heart. In fact, I would be hard pressed to recommend it to anyone unless they're let's say they're well versed in the dark side of visual novels. I don't know a better way to put that off the top of my head. It has a very uncomfortable subject matter, I can say. You might look at random screenshots from it and assume it's purely gooner bait, but no, not at all. It's not. It actually has great themes and a truly heartfelt story underneath. Not to mention the production value. That is probably my favorite thing about it. It's cleverly made in a way that can only be experienced in this medium. My good friend Ronan actually made a review on it that I would recommend checking out. But yeah, I mean, it's a B. I really like that one. And yeah, next let's just do Danganronpa next. Something else that everyone knows, I think. I remember it taking a lot of effort to get into this one. I tried it on Vita, who knows how many years ago, and it didn't grab me at all. Eventually, I tried it again on PC though, and it did click, and I enjoyed it. It's very silly, but can be pretty engaging. It is my least favorite in the trilogy, however, and I think this will be a C. Now, Danganronpa 2, right here. I like this one a lot more. The characters and the setting both appeal to me, and the overarching story got crazier and more memorable. This is it's probably a tier higher than C. Yeah, I definitely liked it a lot more than 1. So I'll put that in B as well. So now, Danganronpa V3. So Kodaka is this is probably Kodaka's best work. I think this is his peak. I will never forget the fucking insanity that was the last stretch of this game. Excuse my language. It's divisive for good reason, I suppose, but I am on the side that thinks it's absolute peak. Like, my god, it's unforgettable. So next, let's do Muv-Luv. It's the series is very nostalgic to me. It's another one that I read ages ago, and Muv-Luv Extra is it's certainly a thing. If it wasn't for my friend telling me that it gets good, trust me, bro, I would have dropped it pretty fast, I think. Thinking about it, it really is a crazy and ambitious choice to make this technically its own game without fear that it'll drive people off before the real story even starts. This Extra was painful to get through. I'm sorry. It's an E, absolutely. But Muv-Luv Unlimited / Alternative, I don't know if it's separate among this particular tier list, but I'm just going to act as they're both one. Back in my day, this constantly sat at either number 1 or close to it on English VN sites. It occupied so many discussions that it was impossible to avoid hearing about. Was it worth the hype? Well, 13 years ago me would definitely say hell yeah. It blew me away, no denying it. Though I soon thought of it as fairly overrated once I had some more VNs under my belt. I mean, it's really good. I can't deny that. But I don't know. It's one that kind of fell off from me over the years. I'm going to put it in B, but a high B. So this won't be a rule, but if I purposely put something on the left side of a tier, it means that's high among that tier. I'm not going to rank all of them within the tiers, but it's just a general idea. So anyway, what next? Sure, Phenomenal. So this was a nice short read. I read this one in Japanese a few years ago for practice, and it was fine, I suppose. Nothing much to write home about. I think it's also unfinished, or at least it felt unfinished. The art is wonderful, and it's what mainly attracted me to it. It's got some nice spooky atmosphere going on. It's a D. Now, okay, let's go back to Nasu. How about Tsukihime? A Piece of Blue Glass Moon, the remake. So I simultaneously love Nasu for making an unbelievable improvement over the OG Tsukihime, and hate him for taking an ungodly amount of time to release it. At least A Piece of Blue Glass Moon feels like a complete game for the most part. There's some pacing issues, but I didn't mind much. It's par for the course. Production value is very impressive, and my god, does it get amazing during Ciel's route. After the drought of Nasu works that I don't care about, this rekindled my love for him, seriously. He has still got it, and I cannot wait for Red Garden. It's real, I swear. It's gotta be real. It's coming, right? Anyways, A tier. So next, let's do G Senjo no Mao, or The Devil on G String. What a title. So this is actually a pretty engaging story, I thought, until the end when it shoots itself in the head with one of the lamest twists I've ever seen. It's been so long, but I still remember it because, well, alright, I'm not really a critical thinker. Often I can forgive or ignore plot holes or quote-unquote bad writing. But as it turns out, this one soured the whole game for me. I won't go into specifics, but man, I don't even know where I should put this one. E seems too low despite everything, so I guess I'll throw it in D because I remember liking it quite a bit before that. So let's go ahead and do that. So next up, I know what I want. Hana Chirasu. So this is a great early Nitro Plus title. Well, I didn't vibe with the protagonist. I actually disliked him quite a bit. The rest of the game is really solid. It's an excellent rivalry between the two mains. Cool fight scenes, memorable climax. Naohara's passion for swords is delightfully apparent with all the intricacies and history he inserts into his fights involving them. It's a B. So I guess it only makes sense, right, to go for the next one. Absolute juggernaut here, Full Metal Daemon Muramasa. So this is one that I am completely unqualified to talk about. At least it feels that way. Uh, so you could say that Hanatarasu walked so this one could run. Uh, it's an all-time banger. I'm still surprised it managed to get officially translated, honestly. It's not perfect, but it's undeniably a top-tier game deserving of the hype. Engaging from start to finish. It's it's an almost perfect experience, actually, I think. S tier. So next, let's do another big one. Or two big ones, I guess. I'll start with Higurashi. So, first of all, Higurashi and Umineko are divided into two parts, the question and answer arcs, but for the purpose of this video, I'm going to treat them as a whole to save space and time. Okay, hot take time. I am not the biggest Ryukishi 07 fan. He's some of his stuff is good. I like this, but I never got the craze for it. I know people go nuts about this, but it's not bad at all. Like, he knows how to construct a good mind-bending horror, and and Higurashi best represents that, I think, among his works. It keeps you on your toes, keeps you guessing. It has impeccable atmosphere. It's hard to pinpoint why I don't like it that much. It's too long. I guess that's one thing. It's way too long, and I don't know. It's a C. I enjoyed it, but as I said, so Umineko though, I do have similar thoughts about Umineko, but it's definitely way better. To me at least. I mean, it doesn't have as good of a vibey atmosphere as Higurashi, but the peaks are just. I mean, they're astronomically higher than Higurashi. What else was I gonna say? The pacing. I almost dropped this like multiple times during the beginning because I was falling asleep. The pacing is just atrocious, and I am glad I didn't though. I mean, stuck with it, and as I said, the highs are incredibly good. Yeah, I regardless, yeah, as I've said, I definitely don't have the same amount of love for this series as I know many others do, but I can fully understand why it's so loved. It's a B, I guess. Yeah. I'm trying to keep these on the shorter side, I swear. Let's do some shorter ones next. Musicus. So I almost opted not even to include this one because I think I dropped it within the first hour of me playing. I dropped it really fast. I probably didn't give it a big enough chance, but I wasn't vibing with it at all. And I dropped it, unfortunately. Where I just saw it. Oh, here it is. Atabana Odd Tales. I like this one. It had a neat fairy tale aesthetic, and as always from Lyrasoft, great use of colors and eye-catching artwork. The story was cool. It was neat. I don't remember a whole lot about it, but I definitely remember liking it. And that's about all I can say. It's middle of the road. It's a C. And the next one, Tokyo Babel. I legitimately have nothing to say about this one, unfortunately. It sucks because this is something that it feels like I would love. It's chuny. It's like right up my alley, but I just couldn't get into it. I dropped that. And now right back to our regular scheduled me talking way too much because I'd like to do some key stuff. Starting with Kanon. It's Key's first proper title. Who isn't familiar with Key at this point, right? Key is one of the major reasons why I got into anime, so you could say I'm a big fan. That being said, some Key titles are better than others. Kanon is a bit of a mixed bag as a huge Key fan. I was introduced to it with the 2006 anime, and only recently it finally got an official English release. Some routes are just plain better than others, like night and day. It's a pretty acceptable length though, and the winter atmosphere is something that always pulls me in. I'm between upper C and lower B for this, but no, it's I guess I gotta put it in C, but it is definitely a high C. I did like it a lot. And Air is next, which I just saw. Here it is. This is another one introduced to me via the anime back in ancient times. It's a more ambitious title that goes for an overarching plot rather than the standard character route structure. Unfortunately, the whole dream plot with Misuzu felt a bit silly to me, and it kind of missed me with a lot of it. Not to mention one of the routes goes on for way too long. Yeah, I mean, big surprise. But as always, the OST hits hard, especially the opening theme, which will never not give me goosebumps. Big fan of Orito Shinji. He's a great composer. This is also a C, but I like it less than canon, so I'll put it on the right of C. Whatever. And I just saw the other thing that I was gonna do, Planetarian. Not much to say about this one. It exists. Robot girl, cute. It tugged on some heartstrings, but nothing spectacular. It's a D. And then the big one, a big one, I guess, Clannad is incredibly special to me. It's another case of I watched the anime first a long time ago. Another big surprise, right? But I did eventually read the VN maybe 5 years ago. In some ways, I still prefer the anime because Tomoya having a voice really adds a lot, especially to the pivotal scenes. Of course, the anime had to leave out a lot of stuff, but that's par for the course. I think it's still one of the better VN adaptations and actually worth talking about. I digress. This is about the VN. The length is insane for what it is, and for some reason, the branching root stuff is needlessly complex. Nevertheless, I mean, oh man, I really do want to put it in an S because of how special it is. And you know what? I will. I was gonna put it in an A, but no, I changed my mind. It's an S. Tomoyo and Nagisa both remind me of myself in different ways, and the game itself has a permanent place in my heart. Once again, I promise I'm trying to keep this short, but I'm talking a lot. Let's continue with Key. Almost done that. Rewrite, another very special one. It's Key's best work, I think. I was going to say objectively, but that's a bit silly to say. It's a lot more plot focused, right? And it's most different, obviously, because it's written by Tanaka Romeo, who typically does not dip his toes in Key works. The only other one I believe is Tsui no Sella. I mean, this is just another one that I have endless love for. As I said, it's one of my first VNs ever. It's a wonder it didn't set the bar too high for me, honestly. It's brimming with mystery in a way that invokes a childlike wonder in me. The music touches my heart in ways few things can. I cried more than once. It has Chizuru. It's another S. And as I briefly mentioned, Tsui no Stella, or Stella of the End. It was also written by Tanaka Romeo, and it was a very pleasant surprise for me. It's short and to the point, no bullshit, just a fantastic, touching story. It has got to be at least a B. I really, really liked it. I heavily recommend it, even if you don't like Keyworks, because it is very different from most of them. And, oh yeah, let me just also say, I have not read Little Busters, but I have watched the anime, big surprise. But I will eventually read the VN, I think. And, am I done with Key? No, I'm not. There's one more. Where is it? I think there's one more. Wait, I just saw it. Oh, Summer Pockets is right here. So this one, this is unfortunate for me. I'm still annoyed that I read the original version not long before Reflection Blue came out. It's my fault for not researching it. But anyways, I never experienced the newer stuff, but the rest of it was great. It has a classic Key feel, which I'm thankful still exists in the 2020s. The heroines all have that special quirkiness and charm to them, and I liked all their roots. It doesn't reach the highs of Clannad or Rewrite. Oh man, I think it'll have to be... I have a little bit of an urge to put it in A, but I will put it in B. And, oh yeah. There's also one that's not technically Key, but it is Jun Maeda before Key, and Jun Maeda is a main writer at Key. But yeah, this is just called One. It's yeah, sorry to say, it was extremely forgettable though. I mean, I can see the vision, I can see what he was cooking, I see that this was kind of a stepping stone to greater things, but yeah, I got basically nothing from this. It's pretty much bottom tier, but I'll throw it in D because I still enjoyed it more than these two. So yeah, a D is good. So next, let's go way down here because I would like to do Sayonara o Oshiete next. So, of course, I read this in Japanese because I actually there might be a fan translation at this point. I honestly don't know. I should have looked that up beforehand, but this was a very fun read in Japanese for me. It was, but about the game itself, if there was a single VN I could mention that has vibes written all over it, it would be this. It nails the melancholic, mysterious 90s atmosphere like you wouldn't believe, like nothing else. It's impossible to talk about the story in any real detail without spoiling it, but it just blew my mind with its excellent use of its narrative style, so to speak. It's an amazing classic thriller that I'll never forget, and it is, to me, one of the best VNs I've ever read. So, it's yeah, it's an S. And let's do some more Type Moon. 428 Shibuya Scramble. So I didn't even know this was Type Moon until after I read it, but it's underrated. It's definitely underrated as hell. I stayed away from it for a long time, but eventually gave it a try. If anything, for the novelty of it having real actors in it. But I mean, make no mistake. While it is silly at times, it's a great thriller that is definitely worth checking out. It was a huge surprise. It ended up being very memorable. I didn't even know it was connected to the anime Kanon either until after I finished it. But yeah, this is B. Very fun. And another Type Moon that I didn't do yet that I read is Mahotsukai no Yoru. This is another one I read in Japanese before the English version came out. It actually got announced as I was in the middle of reading it in Japanese. It was infamously famous. Infamously famous, yeah. It was infamous for never being translated. So the fact that it's even out now is still incredible to think about. Yeah, I digress. It's one of the more impressive VNs visually, and dang if this doesn't have hype moments in aura, as the kids say. I'm sure you know what I'm talking about if you've read it. Not to the extent of, say, the Heaven's Feel climax in Stay Night, but maybe around equal to the Berserker fight in it. I don't know. It's really crazy stuff. Regardless, I found myself appreciating this game more and more after I finished it. It's too bad Nasu will never make a proper sequel to this, but it's an extremely solid game. And it has Toko, who I like a normal amount. This is an A. So next, where is it? Euphoria. This is another infamous one. So this is not usually my type of thing, I will say. But I am not ashamed to admit this, but I am certainly a Euphoria defender. I mean, yes, it's infamous. I mean, infamous for its incredibly degenerate and unapologetically grotesque imagery and scenes. Yes, the awful anime made it even more so for its poor adaptation. Not many people would bother to sift through all this insanity for a possibility of finding a diamond, and I can't blame them, honestly. As I said, this is not for everyone. Did I say that? I don't even remember. But anyways, I did. And I don't regret it because there's a touching love story underneath it all. There's some actually wild twists that make up for it. And, I just kind of like skipped. I kind of skipped through some of those scenes. They are not very plot important. But anyways, I can't in good conscience put this in good conscience rather higher than C, but this is definitely an easy C, a high C. I'll just, yeah. And then how about Hatsuyuki Sakura? So this is yet another one that not only I read in Japanese, but whose English translation got announced while I was in the middle of it. Weird that it happened twice, but sure. Anyway, this one was a great time. The protagonist can get kind of irritating, which is hard to sit through sometimes. Like he's just needlessly mean. But I mean, I ended up liking him once I learned enough about him. A couple of really strong standout roots, and has a pretty interesting overall plot. It's definitely a solid one that I don't know how to really explain, but it's definitely very high tier. It's a high recommend from me. It's an A for sure. And speaking of high tier, where is it? Oh, Hellsing Fata Morgana. So, oh boy, this is one that I can't speak about in any sort of detail without spoiling it. This is probably one of the best examples of that. But everyone knows about Fata Morgana at this point. I read it right when it came out in English, before the reincarnation arc was a thing. It is definitely one of my all-time favorite VNs. It's beautifully haunting atmosphere, compelling overarching mystery, a unique and eye-catching art style that grew on me very fast. There's nothing about this game itself that I don't love. I was pulled in from the start, and it never let me go. It's one of my favorite love stories I've ever experienced. I just can't praise it enough. It is an easy S. Oh, right, and I might as well just do Fata Morgana Requiem for Innocence, the sequel, I guess, right? Or is it a prequel? God, I can't remember. It's more of it's more the same of what I love. Just I'm happy to see more Morgana. It doesn't quite reach the peaks that its predecessor had, but it's still fantastic, and is definitely an A. And where is a certain one that I saw earlier that I want to do? Surely it's here somewhere, right? Oh, here it is. Almost all the way at the bottom. Great. There is way too much stuff in here. So yeah, Marco and the Galaxy Dragon. Impressive as heck visually, that's undeniable. I've never seen such a huge variety of event CGs in a game before, so if nothing else, I applaud it for that, and the overall presentation. But unfortunately, I kind of remember nothing from it story-wise. I mean, I enjoyed it for sure, but I'm getting a D feeling. And next, how about Gore Screaming Show? This recently got released in English, I think. Like, what, last year? 2 years ago, maybe? And for something called Gore Screaming Show, I was skeptical. But I like Uedo Meto's art in particular, and I heard good things about it. And it was pretty damn good, actually. The heroines are fine, but it really gets good after that. This is something that gets better as it goes on, I think. Yuka and Gore are both super interesting, and damn, the game does a good job at making you hate them throughout the game. It's overall pretty decent with some great moments. It's probably a low B, I would say. And next I will move on to Liarsoft. I've only read a couple of Liarsoft games. Gakthun of the Golden Lightning. Gakthun, sure, I don't know how to pronounce that. This was my first Liarsoft venture, and the art is drop dead gorgeous. It's got cool toony moments. Love that. The protagonist is a fictionalized version of Nikola Tesla. The concept of this game is just amazing, honestly. I've come to realize lately, though, that I'm not a big fan of Sakura Hikaru's writing style, but I did enjoy this one quite a bit. And I don't know how involved she was in this one in particular, but nevertheless, I did like this a lot. Thinking about the recipe for this whole game, I'd expect this to be a top tier for me, but it never really hit me hard. It was just all right, I guess. The story itself was never that interesting to me. I don't know. I have kind of mixed feelings about it. This is gonna have to be a C. And speaking of Liarsoft, here. I'm sad about this one. Sona Nil. I waited I think it took like 8 years for Manga Gamer to finally release this, and I mean it just looks so cool to me. And I mean it is cool. It's not that I don't think the game itself is cool, but I mentioned that I'm not a huge fan of Sakura Hikaru's writing style, and this is what made me realize it. It's very slow and meticulous, lots of repetition drilling into you at all times. The story was actually pretty appealing to me, as I said, but at the end of the day, I couldn't make it through. It simply wore me down. I had to drop it despite everything. Okay, and now for something completely different. Love Cubed. Almost opted not to include this, but I mean, who cares? Let's put some titties in here. This is a short one. So I will be straight with you. I only played this because it's an eroge that Ishike did the art for, and you know it was pretty good in that aspect. I'm not going to make you listen to me deliberate on how good the content was, but that being said, I remember literally nothing notable about the game aside from that. So there you go. It's an E. Now, next is once again completely different. Here it is. Cyanotype Daydream. Phenomenal game. This is something truly special. It takes a lot for me to cry, especially in recent years, but this one got to jaded me. It's been a few years since I finished it, and I still think about it, particularly the true route and its ending. It's one of the all-timers. Highly recommend. It's an A, and hopefully I can find the other one by Ono Wasabi. Here it is. Future Radio and the Artificial Pigeons. That's one of the names of all time. It certainly doesn't match up to Cyanotype, but Ono Wasabi was still cooking with this one. For one, it has Tsubaki, who, let's just say, can make a man like me act unwise. It's more digestible, both in length and narrative, maybe a bit too rushed in parts. It does have noticeable plot holes, but nothing that detracted from my experience. I had a great time with it. It's a B. Next up, just saw it and I can't now. This is what we call the classic situation. Oh, it's right here. Root Double is it's one that I read a very long time ago, 2016, I think. So this one I can't really recall too much about. I certainly liked it a lot. It scratched the Zero Escape itch, but easily stood out as its own thing. I remember it being ambitious, impressive, satisfying. It's definitely worth checking out if you like cool sci-fi mysteries and particularly like Uchikoshi stuff, I guess. It's a B. And how about Seabed? So it sucks to talk about this one because it is a smartly written story. It has some moments of generally great reveals, and the in-between stuff was unfortunately a big ol' snooze fest. I had to continuously force myself to finish it. It's honestly a miracle I did finish. man, this just bored me to death 90% of the time, I'm sorry. It just was not for me. The art is nice, though. It had a good translation by the late, great Conjurer. But it's a D, unfortunately. And while on the topic of negatives, hey, loopers, Ryukishi, stop that. Moving on, though, something real good. It's right here, Cross Channel. I played this recently. I played this one in Japanese, mostly because the English ones available are barely readable. Not being elitist, I promise. But yeah, it's a thought-provoking and inspiring game that really surprised me. Unlikable MC, eventually becoming likable. Slowly revealing mystery, the philosophical elements. All of it was fantastic. Really loved my time with this one. This is a tough one. This is one of those where I can't decide. It's like upper B, low A. Oh man, I think I'm gonna put it in A. There you go. I guess I decided A. That's how it works. I might change my mind after, but that's what I have decided for the time being anyway. So next, Cartagra. This is Cartagra, right? Am I going insane? Cartagra is, and the atmosphere is on point. spectacular art from Sugino Miki, which only gets better later in Karen no Shoujo. The story was decent, but I liked Karen no Shoujo more. I can't help but compare them for obvious reasons. This is something I don't have a lot of memorable moments with, though. But it was decent. It's a C. I actually read Cartagra after Karen no Shoujo 1, for whatever that means. But speaking of Karen no Shoujo, where the hell is it? Oh, it's right here. Karen no Shoujo. Of course, I played this before Cartagra, as I just said, so I didn't know what to expect. This is my innocent gray blind experience, I guess. This one actually scarred me a bit because I even remember when I read it. It was February 2015. I wasn't used to the dreary, creepy atmosphere and, well, the gore. A certain scene in particular early on really got to me, I remember. It certainly wouldn't bother me nowadays, but I was young. I don't know. Anyway, I love the mystery, the art, the 50s vibe. I did not like that it was impossible to progress sometimes. Without a guide, that is. But yeah, I'll put this in C, but we'll again mention that I liked it more than Cartagra, but not as much as any in B. So I'm going to have to put it in C. And then the sequel, which, of course, as it happens, I can't find it. Never mind, it's right here. Karen no Shoujo 2, quite a bit longer than the first game, but also quite a bit better, I think. And Reiju's voice this time, and by Suabe Junichi, which is great. Love that guy. I know he was replaced with someone else for the remaster, but he'll always be Suabe to me. This I can put in B. It was noticeably better than 1 in my experience. Not much else to say about it, though. I'm not like the biggest Karen no Shoujo fan. I know a lot of people are. It was all right. But okay, moving on. Where is it? Here it is. Damekoi, the most forbidden love in the world. I thought this was pretty good. It's different than what I usually look for in a VN, but was pleasantly surprised by how much I liked it. It touches on taboo relationships in a believable way, and it's always a nice change of pace having some adult heroines in it. This was decent. It's a B, I think. Now, next up, where is it? That's the classic. How many times have I lost track of where something is? Oh, right here, idiot. Sharon no Kuni. Another ancient read. I don't even remember when I read it, honestly. It was it was the beginning era of my VN journey. I remember it mostly as a mixed bag, but it also has a unique and memorable setting with one of the best plot twists I've ever experienced, and that is no exaggeration. And I cannot go into any more detail than that, but I heavily recommend this. But as I said, mixed bag. I mean, overall, it was good. I mean, it was maybe a little bit too long-winded, but yeah, for a couple of reasons, it's hard to rate this one. But it's definitely gonna be B. It's a certified classic. Also, I just recently learned that the official translation is not even out yet. Like, what the heck? I remember it being announced like 7 years ago. My God. Anyway, next is here it is, Dona Dona. So don't crucify me for this, but I'm not a big Alisoft fan. But I thought the art looked very vibrant and pretty, and that's why I wanted to give this one a shot, and I liked it. It's, I mean, I liked it, but it wasn't anything amazing. It was just like, yeah, it was good, I guess, type of thing. I certainly had fun with it. It has a girl literally named Porno in it. That's fun. I like the management minigame portion of this. The arrow scenes were good. That might be TMI, but I just wanted to point that out. It's too long for my liking, but definitely had its moments. It's a C. And next, I wanted to do another Suda 50. I don't think I did a Suda 51 game yet. But silver case. So here's the thing. What Suda51 does, he does extremely well. No More Heroes and Killer 7 are just phenomenal games. The silver case, however, while it has great moments, I can't praise it very highly. The dialogue is often nonsensical and disjointed to the point where it feels too unnatural to me. I don't know what it is about this series in particular, but I can't get on board with his writing in it. I did finish it though, but I think the vibes and the raw grasshopper charm carried me through most of it. So sorry about that. This is a D for me. But now let's move on to another Saya no Uta, another infamous one. Seriously, everyone knows about this, I think. It's wonderfully disturbing and very memorable in its impact. Rightful classic status. It's one of my very early reads, so can't really say much else about it, but I am throwing that in B. And next, let's do Totono, or You and Me and Her, a love story. That's always thought that was a fun, weird English title for it, but anyway, I am a huge fan of metafiction when it's done right, and it's done amazingly well in Totono. It was my introduction to Shimakura Ryo, and it made me a fan of his, even though his works are very different from each other. But yeah, he's quite the versatile writer, I guess. This is gonna be another B. There's lots of traffic in B. But how about we do some real peak next? Zero Escape 999. I got it on a complete whim for DS way back in the day, and I still think it's the best way to experience it. The way you have to turn your DS upside down. Ooh, my voice just cracked. Yeah, you have to turn your DS upside down at the end for that scene. Oh man, I'm such a sucker for cool hardware implementation like that. The way the whole game enthralled me was like nothing else. It was my introduction to Uchikoshi. I think this is. I mean, yeah, it was my first Uchikoshi game, and it solidified me as a fan of his, and just as sci-fi and mystery fan in general. I guess I'll never forget the impact this had on me. It's a big old A. And of course, Virtue's Last Reward, right? Follow up to 999, and I found it to be almost as enjoyable. It's fairly on par, like disregarding my huge bias I have for the first game. This is really where Uchikoshi's root branching formula took root, I think. I don't actually quote me on that. I haven't actually read the Infinity Trilogy yet somehow, for example. But these are in the same tier. It's going to be an A as well. But yeah, they're both really strong games with engaging mysteries, and I just love it. Love it. A tier. So, next is Zero Time Dilemma. Now, I gotta be real with you. I don't think this is much of a hot take, but I thought this was bad. Coming from the first two games, this felt so incredibly lackluster that I almost couldn't believe it was the same writer. Wasn't impressed with the story, especially the ending, nor most of the characters. Even the format of the narrative just felt strange to me. I mean, it's not awful, but it's the weakest of the trilogy by an absurd degree. I mean, something positive. I like the OST. I think the OST is really good. But yeah. I mean, I don't hate it. This is not an E level, but it's definitely a D. And let's move on to Iwai Hime. As I mentioned, I'm not the biggest Ryukishi fan, but this one in particular was not very good. It starts off interesting, but falls off quickly. That's many such cases. That's a D for me. And I was gonna do something really quickly, but I can no longer find it as usual. Here, oh no, it's here. It's right here. I got it. Aokana. So I didn't. I don't know if this is for the fan disc or the main game, but it's the main game for what I'm talking about. This is a. I dropped it. I'll just say it's interesting conceptually, but The length of the VN puts me off, and the first hour didn't do anything for me. Sad, but it's unfortunate because it's something that feels like I would like, and I would probably would if I was at like a different time in my life, but didn't have the patience for it nowadays, so it's a drop. But let's move on to the next one, Chaos Child. So I have not read Chaos Head yet, but I plan to read Chaos Head Noah very soon. And at the rate I'm making this video, I will probably be finished that damn VN by the time this goes up. But anyways, I thought Chaos Child was excellent. I'm not the biggest Syad fan, but it was engaging as heck, crazy twists, etc. Yeah, just really solid. I really liked it. And yeah, it makes me excited for Chaos Head. But next, I want to do something very special to me. Himawari. So one of the few I consider to be a masterpiece, I'll just go ahead and say that, is Go's magnum opus. Its themes resonate with me so much, and Aqua is one of my favorite heroines ever. This game changed me. I swear it changed me. It's obviously an S. It's an easy S. And speaking of, Himawari Aqua After is the spin-off featuring Aqua that is only in Japanese, so I had to read it like that. But I mean, how can I not when it features Aqua? I figured this might be more lighthearted, but no, it's really heavy. I can't say it's nearly as good as the main game, not that I expected it to be, but it was nonetheless an excellent read. It was also neat seeing the original sprite work, since this was made before the remake of the main game. But yeah, no, this was a high B. Let's put it somewhere there. And speaking of big ones, let's move on to another one that everyone knows. The Fruit of Grisaya, the mother of all classics. Well, a mother of all classics. Fantastically well done story that kept me invested even through the absurdly long common route. I read this with the fan translation back in the day, and I think it's when I truly became a fan of VN's classic route structure, etc. The heroines are all great, and I remember absolutely breaking down on Sachi's route. This game just screams quintessential for a VN fan. I could put it in S, and I wouldn't have too many qualms about it, but I will put it in A instead, but it is the highest A. But that means next is Labyrinth of Grisaya. I was really let down by this one. Bottom line, it felt like it completely lost its identity, what made Fruit of Grisaya so good. It felt extra in a way that I couldn't appreciate. It felt like it turned into a lame B-movie type of thing or something. I don't know. I try not to shit on games too much, but coming from the first game, I just couldn't get with it. Not a fan. That being said, it wasn't awful, and I still enjoyed it, and it was better than the D tiers or below. So I'll put it a C. But Eden of Grisaya. Note what I said about Labyrinth, except worse. I at this point I just had enough. I obviously didn't like Labyrinth. I'm not gonna like Eden either. This one I actually dropped because I was just tired of it. I was like, no more. And now where did the... Oh man, where's the spin-off? Oh, here it is. Idol Maho Shoujo Chiru Chiru Michiru. That's fun to say. Now, I dropped this one as well, but for different reasons. I love Michiru, by the way. She's my favorite Grisaya heroine. But I just couldn't bring myself to care about this. I don't know. The drop in translation quality from the main games was a factor, probably, but I wasn't a fan of the tone of the whole thing. It's a drop. I'm starting to think that this video is going to be way longer than I want it to be. I am talking too much. I can't help it. Let's do Eden next. One of these shorter ones that I read so long ago that I barely remember anything about. I certainly enjoyed it enough, but it was... Let's throw that in high D. But, oh no. Oh no, did I lose my place again? I believe I did. Oh, it's right here. F, A Fairy Tale of the Two. Like Eden, I read it a super long time ago, but this one stands out as incomparably superior. I compare them because they're both written by Kagamiyu and Mikage. But F is an outstanding romance drama with impressive production value. Damn, it really hits. It occasionally is off-putting because it has so many protagonists with different stories to follow. But I did end up enjoying all of them to a certain extent. It's a pretty high B. Very good. And how about something that will take me too long to find? Never mind. Raging Loop. It always felt underappreciated to me. I never really hear people mention it anywhere. The werewolf game is such a fun concept, and it works so well in this medium. Like, this is one that I was just completely engaged with. Yeah, I was so enthralled in the mystery and atmosphere. I'm comfortable putting that in A, actually. And next will be Tokyo Necro. Loved it. It had really fun battle scenes that pushes the medium to its limit, and both protagonists are great, as are most of the characters. I did want more of Nagisa though, but can't have it all, I guess. Yeah, I don't know. Shimakura Vio cooked again. It's a B. I guess it's a low B, but it's a B nonetheless. Liked it a lot. And now for Cho Dengeki Striker. This is a unique one for me. How do I even explain it? Objectively speaking, I can't say it's very good, but I absolutely loved it regardless. It's not something meant to be taken seriously, I think. The characters are mostly one-dimensional. It has a run-of-the-mill shonen vibe. But you know what? I just love that vibe sometimes. This just happened to hit me in all the right spots. It sort of feels like a Saturday morning cartoon almost. I'm going to put this in C. And then Bokuten. Don't have too much to say about this one. I enjoyed it. It's far from what I consider great. I remember liking the common route, but the meat of the game is kind of hit or miss for me. It's another C. Okay, but now let's move on to some big boys. Tsubahebe. Wonderful everyday. It needs no introduction. Once again, it's another one of those. Infamous. Overrated. Yeah, kind of. At least a little bit. Mostly Takuji himself, who I just cannot take seriously anymore. Internet kind of ruined him for me. But I did greatly enjoy his POV sections, though. Looking Glass Insects was just phenomenal. The game can be a bit much sometimes, if you know, and absurd other times. I mean, the game starts off with a fake-out slice of life culminating into a lesbian threesome and ends with a train conductor cat, if I recall correctly. Scotchy just does not give a shit sometimes, and I love that. But anyway, it's an excellent read where the payoffs far outweigh the bad. Not for the faint of heart, though. It's a very high B. I thought that was very good. Okay, yeah. Speaking of big boys, Sakura no Uta. Some more special. It's very special to me. So this is plagued with meme tier nonsense from the Japanese only community and seemingly forever untranslated until recently, where a surprise official one got announced, which is awesome. But I tackled this one years ago when I wasn't as good at Japanese as I am now. It took me over a year, I think, to get through it. I digress. It's undoubtedly deserving of its praise. I disliked very little of this game. Mostly Thomas, just why? I wouldn't mind putting it in S, but I'm gonna put it in the highest A. This will be the biggest A, I think. But that's partly because the sequel, Sakura no Toki, I liked that much more than Uta. So I already considered Uta to be close to perfect, but Toki, it somehow surpasses Uta in every single way. It trims the fat of Uta and condenses it into a more digestible length. It's about 20-ish hours shorter, I think, maybe more. It focuses on the hard-hitting themes of regret, grief, moving on, etc. Characters that got overshadowed in Uta came back, and some of them suddenly became the best written ones in the series. The ending fucking crushed me. I consider this an eternal masterpiece. It has its permanent place among my favorite VNs of all time. It is just simply unforgettable. I'm gonna put that in S, of course. But okay, So we're getting close to the end now, and I would like to put a couple of quick ones in, such as Flowers. I've only read the first volume because I thought it was dreadfully boring. The art is beautiful, but nah, I couldn't handle that. It was not interesting to me. And Yume Miru Kusuri, another one that I dropped very quickly. I didn't like the English translation at all. That was probably a factor, but didn't really interest me that much. And what? Oh, Nekopara. So I've played all the Nekopara games, but I'm only gonna do one of them because I mean, come on. Once you play one Nekopara, you play them all. It's just it is one of those things where I just can't really. I don't know how to rate them against other things. Like, it's so different. It's like you play it for the cute cat girls and some fun slice of life stuff, and that's what you get, and if that's what you want, that's what you get. So I mean, it's at least a C. I mean, in terms of how much I enjoyed it. So yeah, there you go. So let's do a couple more real quick ones. I don't know how quick they'll be, honestly. Majikoi. So this was just wonderful. Some of the best comedy I've ever experienced in the medium. Nails the group of friends dynamic. Roots are mostly great. I just had so much fun with this game, and it's a good chill out thing. I'd love to check out the other Majikoi games eventually. By the way, this hot take: Momoyo should have abs. The artist is a coward. Anyway, that's a B. And I had a couple more real quick ones. Oh, Atri. This did a decent job at hitting me in the feels. I just love the setting. I always like settings with lots of water. This one in particular reminded me of Aria, which is my favorite anime series. So great vibes. But as for the story, pretty standard stuff. But you know, that's okay. It's a C-ish, I suppose. And how about Nukitashi? So this is the most I've ever played of a VN and still ended up dropping it. I had one route left to go, but I got so burned out on the premise and samey jokes that I just couldn't take it anymore. I actually really did like some of the routes though. Like Misaki's was hilarious and Hinami's, which was just really sweet. Unfortunately, the cast outside of the main heroines are the more interesting ones, and they don't get roots because, you know, of course. And I am actually going to rate this because I put like 40 hours into it or something. I mean, so I technically should put it in drops, but my enjoyment I got out of what I played was a D. It was fine. So I promise we're getting close to the end. We're almost there. It's coming, I swear. But how about next, Seed Soul Lullaby? So I didn't prepare anything for this one. I only recently finished this as of recording, and it was just really, really good. I wasn't really expecting much out of it. I didn't really know what to expect, honestly. I just saw like a friend on Twitter just like screenshot it once, and I was like, oh, that looks cool, and then I kind of went in blind. But oh man, it's just a wonderful game, and it's a surprise top tier game for me. It's S, and I think that's about it. No, yeah. Okay, I'm just kidding. Anyone who knows me knows that I left out a very important one. So, in all seriousness, ever hear the phrase hype moments and aura? I think that's something the kids say nowadays. Dies Irae is that phrase incarnate. From the very moment I started the game and Mercurius starts his monologue, he likes to talk, by the way, I was sucked in. The battles, the music, the prose, the characters, everything in this damn game feels like it was made for me. It feels It makes me feel like an excited kid again, even just talking about it right now. And of course, regardless of my enormous bias, I can still say that it's an incredible story. On one hand, I realize that this game is not for everyone, but on the other, I'm flabbergasted at the very thought that someone could dislike it. This is that game for me. I have incessant foreknowledge that nothing will ever top Dies Irae for me. But wait, there's more. Or rather, there's one more. Because, of course, I gotta do Dies Irae interview with Kaziklu Bey. It's a hard name to say. This is, I mean, it's a spin-off. It's spin-off? Is it a spin-off? I don't even know. It's another game in the series anyway. And it features Bey as a protagonist, which is, you know, you would think it wouldn't work, but it does. And he's surprisingly a good one as well. But everything I said about Dies Irae applies to this as well. It's just more peak. I don't know. It's just it's an S. Well, okay. Would you look at that? A feature-length video of me rambling about visual novels. If you were actually crazy enough to sit through all of that, then I am extremely flattered. This was all pretty new to me, but despite how long it took for me to make it, it was pretty fun to make. I hope somebody got something out of this video, be it a recommended VN to try out, or simply entertainment, I guess. Thanks to a couple of friends who urged me to do this, and thanks to whoever took the time to watch it.